The other ones? Yeah, then we were gonna do.
Time is 9 o'clock
We weren't gonna change it.
and the Public Works, Committee will
We didn't wanna
come to
swap.
order.
Bring it to just-
We have a roll
It is
call,
ready to
please.
go.
Chair Childress,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zay,
Here.
Member Desart,
Here.
Member Galassi, Member Garcia,
Here.
Member Ozog.
Here.
Okay. It appears we have a quorum. Okay. First order of business is public comments. Because I don't have any chair remarks, so we'll move on right into public comment. There's no public
No
comment?
public comment.
There are no public comments, so the chair will entertain a motion for the approval of minutes.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item on the agenda is claims reports. Chair will entertain a motion for, first of all, 26,299.
Second.
To approve.
Yeah, motion to approve.
I wanted to read that number. I don't know if we need to read that number or not.
So I think motion to approve.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve, payment of claims, Public Works Facility Management.
You got a motion from Zay. Second by Mary. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll move right into budget transfers. 25,300, the chair will entertain a motion to approve 25,300, Public Works. Public Works transfer of funds, like I have mine highlighted.
So moved.
Second.
Transfer of funds from the employee hospital and medical insurance to in the amount of $6,000 for budget payments for retired employees and payment benefits to post-compensated absence and accrual journey entrance for FY 2024.
Moved by Zay, seconded by Desart.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item up is 25,301, transfer of funds in the amount of $17,000 for labor hours worked for FY 2024.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The chair will entertain a motion to combine consent items 6A through 6F.
8A.
8A, I'm sorry. I gotta get my glasses.
I second the motion to combine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll start. 25,302, Dynamic Industrial Services. Contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $18,015 due to project completion. 25,303, Process Control Corp. Contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $60,000 due to contract expiring. 25,304, Hampton, Lizenzi, and Renwick. The contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $18,984.50 due to the contract expiring. 25,305, Stewart Spreading Company. This contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $59,775.83 due to the contract expiring. 25,306, Paladine Inc. This contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $11,564.56 due to contract expiring. And finally, 25,307, Aquatic Informatic Inc. The contract is decreasing and closing in the amount of $22,140.74 due to the contract expiring.
Make a motion to approve.
It's
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion. Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, they'll go to joint purchasing agreement. FMP 125. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Red Wing Brands of America to furnish safety shoes and work boots for the period of February 23rd, 2025 through February 22nd, 2026, for a contract not to exceed $46,000.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion, Mr. Zay.
Yeah, I had a question. I know we go through this, but wouldn't it be easier to give the employees a stipend where they can go get their own shoes and give them an amount? I mean, I don't know.
So they have the option to go to there and they'll get a voucher. If they would rather go someplace else, they could go to other places as
So it's
well.
available if they want.
It's available if they want to. Yeah.
There's two benefits. One is there's a 50% discount. Two is don't pay sales tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the employees go here just because of the discount. They can get more boot for their money, but some prefer the fit of, Farm and Fleet, something like that, and they'll go there.
Do we have that like in the departments, more boot for your money?
More
Kinda
boot for
like-
your money, yes, that's our
Okay,
saying.
thank
I
you.
think I saw, member Desart.
Yeah, this is not,
And
gonna
then,
be-
and then member Evans, correct? Okay, just member
this
Desart.
is not gonna be popular at all, but I'm gonna raise it. My daughter started about a year ago with a manufacturing company, and she had to buy her own steel toe boots and her own safety glasses.
We have this
Is this part of the,
component, it's part of collective
union?
bargaining agreements. So we're represented by 150 and 399, and as far as uniforms, that is part of those, and boots are part of the uniform.
Okay, I figured there was a reason why,
Yeah.
okay. And then the other thing too is, there was something else, give me 1 second. Oh, how often do employees get new?
Once a year.
Once a year, every
Once a-
year?
Once a year, or if their boots are destroyed or something, let's say something gets
Sure.
benched, they'll get it, but it's once a year.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Okay. Any questions, any further questions?
And that was the motion to approve, right?
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Old business facilities management project update.
Yeah, we could load up the PowerPoint. We have kind of a update PowerPoint with several different projects. And so Jeff, if you want to get us started.
Morning. Thanks, Greg. First item we'll be updating you on are the solar arrays on campus. The 421 South array went online last year. You can view the day-to-day right now on our website. We have a graph clipped here for that. You can tell which days are sunny, which days we had some snow on them, that sort of thing. It's kind of fun to watch. As of last week, the meter tracked about 44 megawatt hours, which it's about $4,000 in our current electricity pricing. On our best days, we were accounting for maybe 10% of the building energy use. Again, we have like the county servers downstairs. I mean, this is a pretty heavy energy use building. We are currently working on the bid documents for the north side of the array. We're hoping to have those on the street in the next couple of weeks. That would be done later this year. We also have two other areas on campus. Animal services, we have the infrastructure in place as part of their addition project. We're putting together a design for the 501 sheriff roof array. We put in both of those into our capital improvements planning requests in case downstate funding becomes available. We also have EECBG money set aside for the 421 North array. We'll keep you updated as those projects move forward. Okay, go to the next one. Still moving forward with public campus EV chargers on campus. The Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus was notified last week that they did get grant funding, and we were a part of that award. We're still finding out exactly how much we'll be getting, the restrictions on that money, but we're hoping to use that towards public chargers on campus here. We have a level 3 location ready across from the care center, kind of behind the SWAT building. We also have animal services stubbed out as part of their addition. We're hoping to get both of these online in the next 6 months. We're looking at final labor and installation costs, that sort of thing. We'll have a dual charger at animal services level 2. Again, level 3, which is the fast charging, would be available across from care center. We also have some infrastructure in place at the 509 deck, or the parking lot in front of the sheriff and not sheriff, sorry, 505 courthouse building, that also later this year with the ECBG funding, we're working through kind of the Buy American requirements for that to find a charger that works with that. But once we have that in place, we'll line that out as well. Thanks, Craig. Last year, we talked about quiet rooms. We're looking for consensus today to kind of get a test booth ordered. We have electrical in place outside the credit union down here in the atrium. This is a unit that would be delivered. Our maintenance staff would set it up. You plug it in, there's a fan in there and occupancy lights that light up when somebody's in there. We would put a film on the glass to obscure the person that's in there for a little more privacy. We'll have security keep an eye on usage. It's right below the facilities management office as well, so we'll keep an eye as well. We'll put it into the housekeeping rotation. We'll kind of see, do we need a small trash can in there? Are people writing on the desk? There's a little top in there. There'll be a chair in there for people to sit down and take a quick call or a laptop break at. If we come back to the committee in a few months, tell you how it's going, we could either put this on next year budget to roll this out across the building or across campus. If we like the small design, we could also look at the larger rooms. So I don't know if you have any questions right now. I did give you a little handout, one-page handout that has a little more detail on it, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
So you're looking for basically consensus now on this for, we want to, facilities management will purchase one of these to see how it works. And if it does work, we can come back and purchase more. It's very reasonable, the total cost. About 6,000-7,000 all in. And if you recall, it was a place for people if they need to, talk to their doctor, talk to their kid's school, just to get out of the cubicle and have a private conversation. This was kind of our response for that.
Sorry. There wouldn't be a schedule attached to this. It would be first come, first served.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like a phone booth. If it's unoccupied, you can step in and use it, yeah.
Thank you.
Was
Remember-
this supposed to double as like a place to pump milk? Or-
No, we have one of those facilities
Okay.
here in 421, all of,
Two and 420.
yeah. And we have in other buildings we do, so this is definitely not going to be for that. We meet that guideline entirely.
Those rooms require lockable doors and obviously,
Yeah.
we don't want somebody to be able to
Yeah,
lock
I would
themselves.
not be
Yeah,
able to-
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just phone calls,
Sure.
a
Yeah,
little
we
bit of
need those.
privacy, yeah.
Next, we have this, member Desart, did you have a question?
Thank you, Chair. I do. So I've been on Public Works for many years and I don't recall us talking about quiet rooms, could be on me. But, first of all, I have claustrophobia, so I would hate this. But secondly, who's this for? Employees or the public who come through?
Both.
Because if it's for employees, can't they make a private call in their office? Or if they have a cubicle, can't they go into, like if this room weren't being used, they could pop in here? I just don't understand the need for it.
Sure. Yeah, I think we had discussed, a lot of employees, you'll see them in stairwells taking calls right now.
Yeah.
If it's more of like you have to confirm a doctor's appointment or your school calls
Something
and.
private, I get it.
Right,
I get
right.
it.
So I think that had been brought up, Member Garcia wants to speak to it, but.
Does member Hyder, did you have member Garcia?
Thank you. Yeah, we did discuss this at a couple of meetings last year, remember Desart? One of the main reasons is that, when taking a tour of some of the other municipal buildings, they did have, quiet rooms like this in them. Not only for taking phone calls, but sometimes also if you're having a mental health issue, it's someplace to go quiet, so you can go and calm down or whatever and make sure that you're feeling better. So that's kind of one of the reasons that some of the municipal buildings, and we thought we would be part of that when we presented it to the committee last year. And then again, it's also for privacy. Again, a lot of people, I know I used to work in a municipal building and you've got a lot of personal phone calls to your own doctor. You don't want to talk about your health issues and you've got somebody right over your cubicle and it's hard to walk out because you actually have to take a break from whatever your job is at that point in time because you're watching the phone. So this will be able to take a break and go someplace quiet where people aren't hearing it.
Have we talked to employees and asked them if they want this? Like how many people would use a quiet room? Have we asked them?
By what we see, people are huddled in corners, they're in stairwells, so we do see it. We have not done an email saying, will you use it? I think everybody's gonna wanna see it. That's why we're just getting one. We're getting one for 6,000 to see if it works. I will tell you that, I have seen it. I know, Woodbridge built a police station. They built these in. I've seen it in the private sector where it's basically a cubicle farm where they come in, it's a workstation, they have these throughout. So this is kind of the newest, latest and greatest development in workspace planning.
Okay, thank you. I'm not against it. I just didn't see.
I want
it.
to piggyback on what, Member Garcia was saying is that, I've observed in 2 years, employees walking around, wandering the halls, trying to talk on the phone, just kind of circling. It'd be nice to have some place to go. And what if you don't have a conference room that's available? Like now they have to talk at the quiet room. That would be, it's ideal. I got member Ozark, then I got member Zach.
My question, who's got access to our converted board offices, the conference office? Over there?
Anybody, they're using more and more and more.
Right,
For meetings, so anybody, they are locked, but we can give anybody authorization, Keith can. So as people are knowing they're there, they're using it more often, and it could be scheduled through the board office, so they are used throughout the week.
okay, so if you wanted to access that, your card may or may not open it, but if you
Some do,
want to,
some
you
don't.
talk to your
The,
supervisor.
the one
whatever.
thing I will say with a lot of our conference rooms, they're not exactly sound tight. And especially over there, I mean, you can hear them down the line, which isn't a problem 95% of the time, but depending on what your conversation is, they're not safe from other people.
Yeah, I
to
just
hear.
want to know who had access.
Yeah.
But you can just ask Keith and.
Absolutely, and more people can, and
Okay.
the word is getting out, and
And the
especially,
office itself is, they're all scheduled through the chair's office.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Member Zach?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's a good idea at least to test this and see. My only concern would be, we'll have to put some parameters in there. Just people can't be going in there and spending an hour in there or half an hour going in there and eating lunch or do whatever. If somebody wants to go make a quick phone call and someone's in there eating their lunch or whatever, I think we'd have to put a little bit of guideline in there just to say, hey, please try to keep it within, 15 minutes. Please don't eat in here, or, something like that.
And that's absolutely why we just want to get we want to see how it's used. Is it used? Is it abused? I mean, it's one of those that we're going to have to figure out how it's used out there. But to your point, we don't want somebody camped out there for an hour and a half. I mean, it should be a 5-10 minute phone call, whatever it is. And that's what we're looking for. But by having one, we'll have some good data, and then we'll.
Right, because if we have somebody who either needs to make a urgent phone call or whatever, and they're standing there and someone's in there, or someone has a little mental health issue and they're standing there waiting for someone who's been in there for 20 minutes, that's gonna cause, I think, more issues than you need. You don't want somebody beating on the door saying, get out or whatever.
Sounds good. Sorry.
Member
No,
Adams?
I just want to add to the conversation and say that multiple studies have shown that spaces like these in workspaces improve productivity tremendously and also help with overall well-being. So I think it would be a great way to see how it affects our employees and how it positively benefits them. So thank you.
And if we see a really good use for it, it's well received, we can add one every floor here, and we can have additional ones in other buildings at 6. I mean, these range from 6,000 to probably 12,000 out there, depending on what you get. Very reasonable. We'll see how it's used and kind of go from there.
It does have wheels if we need to relocate. That's a possibility too, which is an advantage to a permanent built-in.
Or if a certain board member gets in there, we can unplug it and then
Unplug it, wheel them out.
away while they're in there.
Thanks for the idea, Jim.
I'm claustrophobic too. I probably won't be going in there
External
either.
lock?
External, lock them in there.
Any
Nothing
other,
personal.
And see it rolling down County Farm Road, down in traffic. yeah.
All our brains are thinking.
Just
that.
down the hill of the railroad.
go.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll get
Yeah, we're
that
all
ordered.
consensus
We'll
here.
keep you updated. Yeah. Thanks, Craig. 421 Heritage Gallery update. This is an updated timeline. We have been in touch with Taylor Studios as they've revised the schematic design for our feedback the last couple times we've talked to them. We're hoping to have something in board members' hands next week ahead of the February 4th Public Works Committee. During old business, they'll run through the revised schematic design with us all. We'll look for consensus to move forward to concept design, which will set us up for the stakeholder focus group and public surveys. That's where we intend to notify the communities, museums, public stakeholders they'd be welcome for an in-person focus group here, probably the afternoon of March 4th. That'd be a special call to the Public Works Committee, where they'll really drill into what each exhibit is about, what topics we want covered, how, what are our priorities in terms of telling history and voices and stories as part of the exhibit. On the conclusion of the focus group, we would send out a public survey that people would be able to access online. We work with County Board Communications to make sure we get that out on Facebook, X, all those venues. Well, we work with Park District, already with the museum. We'd make sure they notify their people. We'll probably have a QR code in the Heritage Gallery, so people as they walk by, they'll say, oh, you want to take our survey, click here. And then we would get those results in mid-March while they're assembling the concept design, which they would then bring back our way in late April after they've received all that feedback. So this is kind of a heads up, but if you have any questions at the moment, otherwise at our next Public Works, you'll see it up here.
Thank you.
All right, is that it?
Yep.
I do have one quick question, and it's probably elementary, but does the solar rays, are they affected by temperature?
There's probably a small efficiency that affects it, but it's really the biggest change is, in the winter, we just get less sunlight. So you see the graph, overall, it kind of dips in December,
Mhm.
January, and now you'll see it go back up through June. So overall,
If there's snow on it, that affects it.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, I'm looking at that today, it's brutally cold, but it's really bright sunny. Are we getting, do we still have that same advantage?
yeah, and actually, so that 44.3 was from last week when we were kind of getting everything together. I checked this morning, we're at 46.9. So it was a sunny weekend, even though it was brutally cold.
Okay,
So yeah, we still do get a lot of energy out.
a lot of benefit from it.
It's,
Okay,
it's the snow that kills you. If the snow's on there for a couple days, you don't get the power, but.
okay. Yes, members A.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I had asked, can we get an update? I've been the outdoor, I talked about putting a canopy out there in a little area for people to sit in when it's nice out. Cause we have like one picnic table right up against the wall at the 421 here. Are we doing anything with that?
So that actually was part of our courtyard and sidewalks projects.
Okay.
If you look between the 479 garage and 421, right now we have a bunch of flagstones staged in an area. That's
Oh, okay.
actually where
That's
that
where it's gonna go.
that
Okay,
canopy
perfect.
will be there in the spring, once they can get in the frozen ground.
And
Okay.
quick update on that project. If you look in the courtyard, the sidewalks have been poured. They're great. It's a huge upgrade. As far as the next phase, the landscaping, the cleaning it up, any of those amenities, that'll be in the spring of this year.
We had a penalty clause in the contract. They had to have it done by December 1st. We rarely do that. It's a common DOT practice, but we wanted to make sure that the walking in the courtyard was done. So that was our emphasis.
Are you planning some kind of a sunscreen like they have over playgrounds?
Correct, yeah, we have there'll be a
Sail,
sunshade out
sun
there,
sail or
exactly, and a
something.
couple
Oh, good.
picnic tables under it. It's off the
Good.
side. Yep.
Okay.
Any other old business? Any new business? Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.